Hello everyone, we're now in early 2026 and it's the perfect time to look at some of the best new roguelike deck builders you should be playing right now. Please note that I'll also include a few roguelike deck builders you might have missed in the last 2025. Well, let's get into the list.
Gems, build decks, and conquer ever-changing...
Anthem 9 is a roguelite that mixes deck building with gem-matching puzzle gameplay. In each run, you build 2 small decks, and each deck contains 3 different abilities. To activate those abilities, you need to match the colored gems that appear on your tray. During battle, your attacks damage both the enemy's health and their ST bar. If you break that ST bar, you can cancel the enemy's attack, stopping their damage or debuffs before they happen. Early on, your combos are small, but as you win battles, you unlock new abilities and upgrades that let your skills trigger multiple times. It's worth to note that the game is heavily inspired by the style of Persona 5. From the colorful art style to the strange enemies and stylish music, it has a lot of personality.
Rubik, the genius with an IQ over 200. Convert gem colors on the fly for perfect, stable...
The Spirit Lift is a retro horror roguelike deck builder set inside a haunted hotel in the 1990s. Your goal is simple: survive the night and make it all the way to the 13th floor. You control a team of 3 teenagers exploring the hotel, fighting monsters, and uncovering strange events along the way. And if your run ends in disaster, the night rewinds and you try again. When you start a run, the decks from all 3 characters are combined into one shared deck. The whole team also shares the same health pool, so the group either survives together or goes down together. Over time, you'll unlock 8 different teams, and since you pick teams of 3, there are dozens of possible team combinations to experiment with. Master of Peace is a deck-building roguelite inspired by classic board games. Your job is to recruit fighters, build your team, and create powerful strategies. Each turn, you spend action points to place your mercenaries on the battlefield. Once the battle starts, they fight automatically based on their speed and abilities. That means your positioning and preparation are extremely important. One of the best things about Master of Peace, besides its fantastic art style, is how much the game respects your time. Everything moves quickly and smoothly. Combat encounters are fast and focused, so battles never drag on. And when you look at the map, you can immediately plan your path and decide exactly which upgrades you want to chase. Imagine a roguelike deck builder version of Beyblade. That's basically what From the Top is. Think of it like a roguelike version of Beyblade battles, where you collect different Beyblade, combine them together, and build powerful synergies with relics. When battles begin, it's simple. Launch your Beyblade and let it spin. Your goal is to knock the enemy out of the arena or simply outlast them as their spin runs out. But these aren't ordinary Beyblade. Each one comes with special abilities. Some can smash into enemies with extra force or trigger unique effects during battle. Because of that, building the right team becomes a big part of the strategy. The game also has a unique retro style, with bit-crushed visuals and sound effects that give it a lot of charm. Conquest Tactics: Realm of Sin is a strategy game that mixes hex grid battles with roguelike deck building. The combat is all about careful positioning. During battles, you enter a commanding state where you place and move your units across a tactical battlefield. Your units attack in different directions, so you need to rotate them, place them carefully, and think several turns ahead. Winning isn't just about having strong units, it's about smart positioning, good timing, and strong synergy. What makes the game really addictive is how rewarding it feels when your strategy finally works. A well-planned move can completely turn a battle around. Pirate's Gambit is a deck-building roguelike where you roll dice inside a dimly lit pirate cabin where every turn feels like a gamble. What's surprising is how much control you actually have over your fate. You can collect different dice types and materials, use booster cards, find permanent items, and sometimes even influence which events you'll face on the map. Because of that, the whole experience becomes a constant push and pull between careful planning and tempting fate, always trying to reach higher and higher scores. In some ways, the scoring system might remind players of Balatro, while the darker mood feels closer to something like Inscription. Insider trading is a roguelike deck builder where you manipulate the stock market using cards. In each run, you play as a trader with their own unique deck and strategy. The goal is simple: push prices up or down, make smart trades, and cash out at the perfect moment before the market crashes. But this isn't a realistic stock simulator. The real focus is on your deck and the choices you make. In this game, timing is everything. Push the market too hard, and prices become too expensive to enter. Play it too safe, and you might miss your best chance to profit. It's definitely not an easy game, but if you're willing to learn how it works, it can be incredibly satisfying. Menherarium is a deck-building roguelite where you're trapped in a room with a clingy and slightly unstable anime girl, and every day you have to gamble your own blood just to survive. For 7 days, you're forced to play a dice game called Chinchiro. Your blood acts as your health bar, lose too much of it, and the run is over. Each day is short but intense. The dice rules are simple, but the real strategy comes from your cheat items. These work like cards you collect during the game. Some let you re-roll the dice, others protect your blood, and some help you push your score when things start going wrong. But what really makes the game interesting is that the rules keep changing. As the days pass, she introduces new conditions and twists, so you can't rely on the same strategy forever. Dice A Million is a roguelike deck builder where the goal is simple: roll dice and reach 1 million points. The game features over 120 unique dice, each with different effects. By combining them together, you can create crazy synergies that massively multiply your score. One of the smartest design choices is how score and money are connected. Your score for each stage is also your currency. So if you build a powerful dice combo that earns way more points than you need, the extra score turns into money you can spend in the shop. That means the better your combo is, the richer you become for the next round. Frostrain 2 is a roguelike deck-building game that's all about building powerful synergies with a bit of management mixed in. The setting is a frozen world where civilization has collapsed. You play as the last train conductor, leading the remaining survivors aboard the final moving train. In each run, you'll gather resources, expand your train, and build synergies between different passenger factions and powerful artifact cards. Compared to the first Frostrain, the sequel goes much deeper. There are more factions to experiment with, more artifact combinations to discover, and more decisions that can completely change how each run plays out. If you enjoy optimizing builds and finding clever card combos, this game can easily keep you busy for dozens of hours.
In your dog deck, dog playing them until you
Dogpile is a roguelike deck builder where you merge cute dogs into even bigger dogs. In Dogpile, the rules are extremely easy to understand. You drop dogs with the same value on top of each other to merge them into a stronger dog. 2 aces become a 2, 2 twos become a 3, and the dogs keep getting bigger and bigger as their value increases. Your goal is to eventually create a king dog in your yard. Like most deck builders, you start with a small deck of low-value dogs. As the run goes on, you can buy new cards, remove weak ones, and customize your deck. Dogs can also gain special traits that change how they behave. On top of that, there are dog tags that can completely modify the rules of the game, adding bonuses, strange mechanics, or unexpected effects. Dream of Corpse Lady is a really fun card roguelike deck builder that treats cards almost like RPG characters or Pokemon. In this game, instead of just collecting random cards, you build a team of undead minion girls. Each character adds their own cards to your deck, along with unique abilities and passive effects. You can recruit a large team to get more attacks and abilities, or keep your team small so you can focus upgrades on a few powerful units without cluttering your deck. Now, the biggest problem with the game right now is the localization. The English translation is pretty rough, so if you don't understand Chinese, it might be worth waiting for a better translation patch. Feng Shui Meowjong blends classic Mahjong deck building strategy with silly cats and strong Feng Shui vibes, and surprisingly, it just works. Some players even call it Balatro for Mahjong. And honestly, that comparison feels pretty accurate. Much like Balatro, the game takes a traditional system and turns it into a highly addictive roguelike experience. The main goal is to build tile patterns that massively multiply your score. But what really makes the game unique is the addition of cat-themed treasures and feng shui positioning, which give the whole game a strong Eastern aesthetic. On top of that, the game is very convenient to play. You can quit and continue your run anytime, and it even supports cloud saves so you can pick up right where you left off. Omelet You Cook might be one of the strangest and most creative roguelikes I've seen in a while. It's basically a physics-based cooking roguelike deck builder about making omelets. The idea is simple but surprisingly clever. Customers come in and order omelets with very specific requirements. Ingredients move towards you on a conveyor belt, and you pick them one by one and place them onto your omelet. But here's the twist. It actually feels a lot like turn-based combat. Instead of attacking enemies, you're strategically placing ingredients. Each customer becomes almost like a boss fight, where you have to carefully build the perfect omelet to score the most points. So instead of making a normal omelet, you end up creating these weird, chaotic food combos just to maximize your score. Before we get to the #1 spot on this list, I want to give an honorable mention. Death Howl is basically deck builders meet Dark Souls, but unlike most deck builders, it isn't a roguelike. Instead, it follows a more traditional adventure-style structure. The game's combat is turn-based and takes place on a grid, similar to Into the Breach, and just like a true Souls-like, the game can be brutal. There's no convenient undo button here. Instead, you'll mostly learn through failure. Enemies often have tricky attack patterns, and the game doesn't always explain them clearly until it's already too late. Expect to die a lot while figuring things out.
The night has come. I yearn, yet what has passed cannot return.
Slay the Spire 2 actually feels less like a brand new sequel and more like a remake of the original Slay the Spire. The game sticks very closely to what made the first game so great, and honestly that's not a bad thing because the first game is one of the best roguelike deck builders ever made. But once you spend a few hours, Slay the Spire 2 begins to show why it's a true sequel. The game introduces 2 brand new characters alongside 3 returning characters that have been reworked. On top of that, there are tons of new enemies, bosses, relics, and random events that keep every run feeling fresh. The visual style is also different. Characters are larger, animations are more expressive, and enemy deaths are much more dramatic. It gives the game a bit more personality, even though most of the action still happens through cards. That's all for today's list. Subscribe and like for more exciting new roguelike and roguelite games. That's it, and see you next time.